So, let's start seated since we're gonna kind of work on the neck and the shoulders. So start in any comfortable seat. And if you want to sit on a block, you can. I'm gonna put my sweatshirt on, it's getting chilly. So with maybe if it's comfortable, you can sit cross-legged, or if you want, you can just have your legs out, whatever's most comfortable. But see about maybe rolling the shoulders back and then just slightly tucking the chin towards the chest, not a lot, not a deep tuck, but just kind of a little tuck, and the back of the head kind of reaching for the sky, and that might lengthen the back of the neck just slightly. And then let's exhale. And then we'll soften the gaze, maybe letting those eyelashes rest on top of each other. Maybe our inner eye, that awareness maybe goes to the heart space or to the tip of the nose, but just bringing this awareness to our body sitting on this mat. And then on another side, and let those elbows relax. So it's as if they're just kind of dangling from the shoulders. The hands just rest effortlessly on the legs, on the knees. And let's bring awareness to our breath. Maybe noticing if the belly expands in the inhale, or maybe the chest. Not trying to change the breath flows, but just noticing where it is. And notice where the breath leaves out the mouth, or is it up the nose? Just continuing to notice the breath. And now let's tuck the chin all the way to the chest. And let those elbows still dangle down. And press that chin towards the chest. Now let's slide the hands off the knees onto the floor. And with that chin towards the chest, bring the chin kind of towards the right shoulder. And pause there. And then walk the left hand away from the body. But keep the chin towards the right shoulder, the right side of the chest, and the left hand, walk it away from the body like a push slider. And then just pause, maybe noticing if the back and the left side of the neck opens slightly. And then walk the left hand back towards the body and relax the hand. Bring the chin back towards the middle. And then let's drop the head back, bring the chin towards the ceiling, and we're going to pause right there. And with the chin towards the ceiling, imagine you were opening your mouth wide, and actually do that, just imagine, but open the mouth wide and then close it. And just continue to do that, just opening and closing the mouth to kind of open up the throat, the front of the neck, right? And you might feel that behind the ears a little, on the side of the neck slightly. And now let's relax the front of the neck, relax the chin, and then bring that chin back to the chest. And bring the chin over to the left shoulder, that left side of the chest. And then when you're ready, walk that right hand away from the body. It doesn't have to be really far, just maybe pause when you begin to notice a stretch. And then walk it out a little more if you want. You don't have to walk it out far. One more breath in. Walk the right hand towards the body and relax the hand. Drop the chin towards the chest. And then now let's do some neck rolls. You can go clockwise or anti-clockwise. Go both ways. You can start in one way, whichever way. You can go one and then the other. And one thing that's really nice to do is as you're doing this, if you start to feel a response anywhere, pause there and then breathe and let that little pause open up the muscle. And then maybe you take some half circles, just sweeping the chin from one shoulder to the other in front of the chest. Then let's bring the chin to the middle and then bring the head back to neutral with the ears off the shoulders. Let's bring hands in front of the heart and maybe just place one hand on top of another in front of the belly button. And give ourselves a breath in. There's an intention for your practice today. Maybe there's a cause that you'd like to dedicate your energy to, or a person. Maybe you want to dedicate your practice to a specific part of your body, like the neck or the lower back. Just do that right now. And then let's thank ourselves for being here. Let's start with chanting a single Om together. We'll breathe in and out, and then we'll breathe in, follow that with an Om. Let's breathe in and out. Breathe in for Om. Om. Now blink the eyes open. We'll place our hands on the knees. And then let's take, I think we did this the other day together. Let's take the left arm, bring it behind the back. And then with that left hand, hold the right elbow. And I'm going to come close to show you. So when you're seated, it's going to kind of look like this. So it's that left arm behind the back. And the palm is towards the inside the elbow. And if you can't do that, because it's kind of tricky, then just kind of hold the hand in front with that on the right elbow. If you bring it behind you, that's great. If it's in front of you, that's okay. So with the hand on the elbow, rest the right hand on the left, and then bring the chin towards that left shoulder. And we're going to breathe here for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Inhale. And then we'll exhale to bring the chin over to the right shoulder. Yep. And then imagine that left shoulder opening, the chest opening. We're going to breathe here for 5. Just breathe in and out. And 4. And 3. And 2. And exhale. Bring the chin back to neutral, back to the front. Let's release the hand from behind the back. And then bring the arms out like a T. Yeah. Let's flip the right palm up and the left palm down. We've done this before. It's kind of like scratching your head and patting your stomach or whatever. So it's kind of tricky. But put the right palm down, the left palm up. Yep. And pause and reach the fingers outward. Okay. And then flip the right palm up, left palm down, reach the fingers out. Flip the right palm down, left palm up. Right palm up, left palm down. And then the right palm down, left palm up. And now bring the right palm to the sky. So both palms face upward. And then we're just going to bring those arms into circles. Whichever direction, you can kind of bring them forward first if you want. And then we'll make some shoulder circles back the other way. But either direction, it's totally fine. You just make sure that you do both. Couple more shoulder circles. And then bring the arms in the goalpost or cactus. It's Super Bowl weekend. Bring the palms together in front of the heart, elbows together. Yep. And now bring the elbows and the palms over towards that right leg, but bring the gaze towards the left. And we're just going to pause and breathe here. And don't strain. Really let this be a nice, gentle opening. Breathing into the muscles of the back. And then we'll exhale to bring the elbows, palms over to the left, and then the gaze towards the right. And exhale. You might feel it across the front of the right shoulder and the arm, you might feel it in the back. Wherever you feel it is exactly where you're supposed to feel it. It's just, you know, think of these shapes as messengers. What do they have to show and to reveal to us, right? Exhale to bring the arms back to the middle. The gaze is in the middle now. Let's bring our arms out like a T again. And then up overhead. And then let's exhale to fold it forward and let the arms relax. Plant the hands on the floor, just tuck that chin to the chest. Reach the sits bones to the floor. And just relax and pause. One more breath. And then exhale, walk the hands towards the shin. Coming back to an upright seated, yep. And then bring the left arm, elbow kind of in. The right arm comes behind the back, and then that right hand finds that inside of the left elbow. Or again, if you want, you can just kind of have it there on the front. With that chin, exhale to bring the chin towards the left shoulder. And then we're just going to breathe here. And kind of think about pulling that right elbow down to see if you can open up across the right side of the neck. And 2. And 1. And then we'll exhale to bring the chin over to the right shoulder. And then just allow yourself to breathe. Not trying to manipulate or change the breath. Just kind of keeping track of the count to give ourselves the space and the time to open. And now let's exhale, bringing the chin to the middle. And then we'll bring it to the chest. And let's just bring that chin from one shoulder to the other. Kind of those semicircles that we did earlier, but we're going to keep the arm behind us. And now bring the chin to the middle and then bring the chin up back to kind of that neutral, normal kind of gaze forward. Release the arm and then shimmy out the shoulders. Relax the hands on top of the knee. Yeah, and then let's just bring our fingertips on either side, on the back of the neck, on either side of the cervical spine, and just kind of gently just press, just on one side and the other. Yep. And then bring the fingers kind of towards the top of the neck, the base of the skull, and then just hold the fingers there, just a little bit of pressure, not a lot. You just look down towards the chin, or the chin towards the chest. And keep those fingers there. And then just bring the chin up. And you kind of press the head into the fingers as you lift the chin to the sky. So now you're kind of compressing the fingers as you lift the chin up. And then bring the chin back to neutral. And then walk the fingers down just a little more. So you're still on either side of that cervical spine. Just a little bit lower than they were a moment ago. Press the fingers there. Don't hurt yourself. Just slightly press, a little pressure. Tilt the chin to the chest. Pause. Pressing those fingers on either side of the neck. And now just bring the chin up. So you kind of feel the neck just ease into the fingers. And then bring the chin to neutral. Kind of walk the fingertips down. So now they're kind of more maybe on the trapezius muscle, but they're still kind of on the neck. This might feel really nice. And then just bring that chin down and pause, pressing those fingers there. And then bring the chin up. Then bring the chin to neutral, gazing forward. Then relax the hands, bring them back to the lap. Yeah. And now bring the chin to the chest. And just sway that chin side to side. And if you'd like to add on and make some full neck circles, go ahead. Maybe just nod the head up and down, kind of like that video game on Big, Movie Big with Tom Hanks. I think it's a Zoltar. Whenever I do this, I think of that when I nod my head. So now you know what I'm thinking of sometimes. when I do that. But just giving some mobility in the neck. Okay, bring that chin up. Now we're going to come into cat cow. And we're going to bring this movement to the breath, or tie the movement with the breath, right? This conscious breath, this mind-body connection that we've been talking about this week. Good. So once you find that table, really bring your awareness to the pelvis and then to the neck. So we're going to tilt the pelvis, dropping the belly, and then lift the chin. And we're going to pause here. Notice the back of the neck, and notice maybe where else you feel the benefits, or maybe feel some heightened awareness in this cow. And now we're going to tuck that pelvis, rounding the spine, bring the chin to the chest, and just notice where you feel it. I've had a little bit of really tight left low back lately, so that's where I notice it. Maybe you notice it more in the neck. And again, kind of imagine that this shape or a messenger, and it's got a message for you. What's the message in this shape? And then go ahead and drop the belly, lift the heart and the chest, the chin, finding your cow. Just go ahead and move with your own breath, your own pace. There's not a rush. Now exhale to a neutral spine. Really good. And then on your next exhale, find your downward facing dog. And here in this downward facing dog, really plant the hands, reach the sit bone to the sky, and let that head be lazy. And maybe you make some head circles with the neck. Letting the head be heavy. Imagine like you had like a pencil at the top of your head and you're just drawing circles on your mat, or you're drawing a line back and forth as you nod the head. But let gravity in this relaxed neck here benefit from this downward facing dog. Now inhale to look up at the hands, and then gently walk the hands forward, or the feet forward to the hands. And then exhale. And then slowly let the arms dangle and just rise up. One little vertebra at a time. There's not a rush. Notice the vertebrae of the spine and the vertebrae of the neck becoming upright. And the shoulder blades slide down, the shoulders back up. Really nice, yeah. Okay, now from standing, let's plant the left foot and step the right foot back just a little bit. So it's kind of like our pyramid setup, but we're not going to come into pyramid. We're just going to set our feet kind of like on train tracks. The feet are both facing forward. And we're going to draw those arms up. We're going to come into that archer pose that we do sometimes. Bringing the right hand towards that right shoulder, because the right foot is back. Whichever foot is back is the arm that's going to be back at the shoulder. Now look up at that left thumb. Okay, now normally we follow the gaze of the thumb, but we're going to keep our gaze forward and bring the left arm out and bring the head in the opposite direction. So the left arm is to the left, the chin is to the right. This is going to support that C7-T1 connection, where the base of the neck, the cervical spine, and the top of the thoracic meet. So now exhale, bring the hand and the gaze back to the middle. And now gaze to the left, but keep the hand in the front. And then bring the gaze back forward. Keep the gaze forward this time, and just bring that arm out to the side. And then once that arm gets out to the side, then bring the gaze over towards the right. The left arm is out, the gaze is right. And then we'll exhale to bring everything to the middle, the gaze and the thumb. And then bring that right arm forward, staggered. And then we'll inhale to bring the arms up. And then exhale, bring the hands in front of the heart. Then exhale to hinge forward into a variation of your half pyramid. Breathing in and out. Ardha Parsvatanasana. And now from here, breathe in, and then exhale, plant the hands on the shin. And with that right hand on the shin, we're going to open up, or the knee, anywhere on that left leg, the right hand. Just open up the arm, the left arm to the left, and let that gaze follow the left arm. And make sure that those shoulders are out of the ears. We were talking about that earlier. Don't hunch the shoulders up into the ears. Really ground that left foot. And then we'll exhale to bring the left hand down, the gaze down, the heart parallel with the floor now. And then inhale, rise up. Good. Exhale into the feet. Nice. Step the right foot forward. And now step the left foot back. And then bring those arms in front of the shoulders. So the feet are staggered. The left foot's back. Arms are forward. And draw that left arm back. Breathe in. And then we're going to exhale to bring that right arm out to the right. And the gaze and the chin go to the left, to the left shoulder. You can bring that right arm out like a T, pretty much. And keep the left shoulder out of the ear. So we're not scrunching the shoulder up, but it's just straight. That left elbow is just kind of dangling like it was before on the floor. And now bring the gaze and the arm forward. Nice and slow if you can. And just bring that arm across the body. You can bring that gaze over the right shoulder. And bring everything to the middle. And then we're going to move that right arm out to the side. And the gaze is over to the left again. Now bring the gaze and the arm forward. Whew. This is work, right? Let that left arm come to meet the right. Yeah. Inhale, bring the arms up. Then exhale, hands in front of the heart, and then fold it forward, hinging first at the waist for our Ardha Parsvatanasana. And then from this hand, we'll pause. Then we'll exhale to come forward into our pyramid. Let that left hand rest on the right leg. You can bend that right leg slightly, and then just bring the right arm up to sky. This is our revolved triangle. And you can gaze up at the hand, or you can gaze down towards the foot. Remember Thursday, we moved the neck looking up at the arm at the top and then the floor. You can do that here too. You can look up and you can look down. That's just kind of that, like I said, that C7T1. Or you can just have the gaze be steady. As you're ready, bring the right hand down to the leg, the gaze towards the floor. Inhale to stand, pressing the feet into the floor as you rise. And then exhale to really reach those feet to the floor. Create space from the tops of the hips to the shoulders and shoulders to the ears. There's space there. Exhale, bring the palms in front of the heart. Step that left foot forward to meet the right. Shimmy out the legs. Then inhale to bring the arms overhead. And then exhale to fold it forward, Uttanasana. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise up, Tadasana. Good. Really nice. And exhale, fold it forward. Let it all go, Uttanasana. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise, Tadasana. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Last time. Bend the knees, inhale, rise, Tadasana. And then we'll exhale, hands in front of the heart, and stand here in our mountain pose. Breathe in and out. And in and out. Now let's inhale and turn towards the long edge of our mat. And we're just going to point the toes kind of towards the corners so the feet are kind of at an angle. We're going to come into that goddess squat. So maybe bend the knees a lot or a little. You can roll the shoulders back. Tuck the pelvis. And you know, sometimes the tension in our shoulders or the trapezius is because we have tension in the hips. So we're just gonna try to kind of open up the hips a little bit here. We'll inhale to bring the arms out like that T again, and then find those goalpost arms. And then we'll exhale to bring the right elbow towards the right thigh. And really press that left foot into the floor. And again, make sure those shoulders aren't creeping up into the ears, relaxing the neck. And now exhale to kind of windmill over that left elbow towards that left thigh. Breathe in. Exhale that right elbow towards the right thigh. And if you want, you can reach that left arm overhead. As long as it doesn't feel like it's contracting your neck. If that neck is feeling sticky, it might feel better to even just reach that left arm to the hip. It's really up to you. And then we'll exhale, bring that left elbow towards the left thigh. That right arm can reach overhead. Maybe you want to keep it towards the hip. Or maybe it's in the goalpost still. And now bring everything back to the middle. Yes. Bring hands under the heart space. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, turn those feet towards the long edge. Yes, really good. And then we'll exhale to come into a little bit of a side lunge on the right. It doesn't have to be deep, it just has to be just a little bit to kind of find length in the inside of that left leg. So press the weight into the right foot. Really good. And then we'll exhale over to the left. Breathe in. And then we'll exhale back over to the right side. There you go. Exhale over to the left. Now let's inhale to bring the arms out like that T that we come to so often. And then we'll inhale back to straighten that left leg for standing extended mountain pose, Utthita Tadasana. Now bend those knees slightly, hands to the hips, and then we'll fold it, you got it, we'll fold it forward for a wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. And really think about sending those sits bones towards the sky, maybe looking between those knees behind you. And then let that head be really free. Kind of did our downward facing dog earlier. So imagine you have that pencil at the top of the front of your head. You're just drawing a line forward and back or a circle with the head. And if you want here, maybe you kind of bring the hands towards that right foot, kind of bend that right knee, walk the hands towards the left, kind of sway side to side, bending the knee if you want, or just stay static in your wide-legged forward fold. We just kind of want to be inverted here for a few more breaths. So whether you're moving side to side or whether your head is in the middle, it really doesn't matter. We just want to be inverted. Now bring it back to the middle if you have that head moving side to side. Breathe in. And now slowly we're going to rise. And really, really slow because we've had our head low in the heart for quite a few breaths. So we're going to come up nice and slow, stacking those vertebrae. Yeah, really good. Now let's step the feet together, bring the palms together, shimmy out the legs. We're going to come into our side bend. So maybe press the weight into that left foot, send the hips out to the left, and then bring the arms over to the right. So it's like you're kind of really exaggerating that hip, what's the word, like sass, or that shifting that hip up to the side. Breathe in. And then we'll exhale to shift the weight back to both feet as we bring the arms overhead, and then shift the weight into that right foot as we exhale to side bend over to the left. Oh. Really good. And now back up to the middle. And then here we'll fold it forward, wash it out, exhale. And if you want, maybe grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. You bring the feet a little wider than your hips. And now from here, gently plant the hands, bending the knees, We'll come into our table, onto the floor. Yeah, and then maybe come onto those forearms and walk those arms out for puppy, but really be mindful in this puppy pose that you're not scrunching, like I keep saying, those shoulders into the ears. And if you want, actually pause in your puppy for a couple more breaths. And then on your next exhale, let's sit it back into child's pose. Your knees can be wide or they can be close together. And bring that left arm forward, but bring your right arm back, kind of towards the bottom right part of your mat. And reach those hands in opposite directions. And maybe you feel a little stretch on the right side of the neck. We'll exhale to bring that arm forward, bring the left arm back. And now bring that right arm forward, or the left arm forward. We'll exhale to make our way onto our back. Breathing as you move onto the back of the body. And then once you get there, give yourself a couple breaths onto the back. Yeah, good. I don't even have to say it. Give those knees to the chest. Now bring those knees over the hips. Maybe cross the right leg over the left. Now bring the hands to the floor so those palms are there to support you. As you exhale to bring those legs with the right leg crossed over the left over to the left side. So just a gentle twist here. And you don't have to cross the legs. If you get those legs over to the left and it's not comfortable, uncross them. And let's let the knees rest one on top of another. Sometimes the low back gets a little more of a stretch if those legs are crossed. But if it's not comfortable, that is absolutely not the purpose. Because here we're just bringing in that comfort in the shapes. Just begin to wind down. As we kind of wind up here physically, we're going to wind down mentally. Even more than we already have. Letting the breath come and go with ease. Now exhale, maybe flip the palms on the floor if you had the backs of the hands on the ground, just to be able to press into that left hand. And just gently, with your strength of your core and your back, bring the knees, the legs back to the middle. Let's uncross the legs and let's come into a legs up the wall here. If you want, you can add that cross-country ski across the ceiling. You can bring those legs apart, kind of like a V. Whatever you want to do between sides. And then as you're ready, just cross that left leg over the right. And then we'll exhale to drop those knees. I say drop, but hopefully you know that I mean gently let those knees roll, rock over to the right. The palms can be down or up. And again, you don't have to cross the knees. Just thank yourself for how far you've come. Not just in your practice, but just in your life, in the week, in the month, in the past few years. put those palms towards the floor. Use that right hand, and then your strength. Just bring those knees to the middle, and then any shape, any movement that you feel would just suit your practice, just right before you come into Shavasana. Your final resting pose. It might feel really nice to hug the knees of the chest and then bring the nose to the knees. One last final kind of stretch across the back and the neck before your Shavasana. And sometimes it's really nice if you have a tight back of the neck or tight neck to rest the back of the head on the block and kind of press the head into the block and then relax. Or to even have that block back there and just rock that head side to side on the block, on the back of that neck or that head. Yeah. And once you get that block back there, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Those foam blocks are perfect for that. And then as you're ready, whenever you're ready, there's no rush. Just find your Shavasana. We're going to give our mind a little support here to relax. Just a mantra, you can say it out loud or to yourself. Inhaling, I'm aware that I am breathing in. Exhaling, I'm aware I am breathing out. Inhaling, I am aware that I am breathing in. And say to yourself, exhaling, I am aware I am breathing out. I am aware I am breathing in. I am aware I am breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. With the signals. Whenever you're ready, just gently make your way up to seated. The wind cut the door. This melody behind us. Oh. Let's inhale.
feel. Inhale. Exhale. Om. Shanti. 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 Om. Namaste.